Hello everybody and welcome back to another crypto video. And yes, the title is true, we have been lied to. No, investor Paul Tudor Jones is not buying Bitcoin, and here is what's wrong with that. So basically, a lot of us have been saying that he is buying into Bitcoin, he's a billionaire hedge fund manager, this is the most bullish thing ever, everybody's been talking about that, but it is simply not true. It's actually quite different what he has bought, and it's a big detail, all right? But before we get into any of that, make sure you press the like button and subscribe if you're already enjoying the daily crypto news. Daily? And also, the question of today is, what will be the first big company to announce that they're buying Bitcoin? Like, I know a lot of companies, they decide to buy into, for example, gold right now. But what big announcements do you think we'll hear soon of a company buying into Bitcoin or XRP for that matter? Let me know in the comments section down below what you think. I'm really wondering myself as well. I haven't made my mind up quite yet. And also, I have two other channels, 5 Minute Crypto and Dusty Finance. Links in the description below. Make sure you check them out. Really good videos on there without advertisements. So yes, the big difference here is actually that he bought Bitcoin futures, and there's actually quite a little bit of a difference there. So as it says right here, Paul Tudor Jones is a billionaire hedge fund manager. As he is geared for profit maximization, news that he has been buying Bitcoin has hit mainstream media, while his real interest is in Bitcoin futures, which is a very different investment altogether. So, OTC, spot, derivatives, what's the difference after all? And you should briefly check through this if you personally, yourself, do not know what the complete difference is between these things, because I think that will help you out along the way. But in Paul's case, however, investors prefer his fund to purchase Bitcoin futures because they don't want to have the actual thing. Well, let's actually briefly help you guys out just a little bit. So, on the contrary, OTC, let's actually start from the beginning. Bitcoin can be acquired either through spot exchanges, where one has to register and buy through a centralized ramp, as like Binance, Coinbase, and all those normal exchanges, which you guys know, through a decentralized exchange, or over the counter. Trading via the former means amounts can be tracked since exchanges' order books are public and can be monitored. The larger the amounts, the more the buy or sell wall, and the more the FOMO or JOMO. OTC, on the contrary, those exchanges can be private and exchange rates negotiated to compensate for slippage. Purchases through these media are private, as well as there are tons of providers. Here, it is common for Bitcoin to be bought in bulk without the worry big purchases will affect prevailing exchange rates, subsequently affecting the amount bought or sold. And again, in the case for Paul, investors prefer his fund to purchase Bitcoin futures, which are, again, in this section. These are derivatives where contracts and not individual coins are traded. In this arrangement, his fund, while not holding physical coins through a vetted custodian, will bet on the Bitcoin prices and profit or make losses depending on their prognosis. And assuming Tudor BVI pours 1% of their $38 billion into Bitcoin futures, that's a whopping $380 million that will be poured into the system, which is a significant boost for the buyers if bids are made, or insurmountable pressure if the bid gets negative. And the coin's overall liquidity, it is not clear whether Tudor BVI has already made the purchases. And again, Bitcoin is the fastest horse, and hedge funds may follow Paul's move. Well, I believe that this is actually a lot better to a certain degree, because if they were to buy Bitcoin all the way, instead of the futures like they've done now, like the futures you should see like just betting on BitMEX a little bit, all right? You should kind of see it that way. It's the simplest way to see it. And with buying Bitcoin itself is just becoming a holder, right? Why it's more positive that they decided to go for this route is that because oftentimes they're doing this in anticipation of a big move upwards. When they decide to buy futures and not the real thing in this case, they're most likely assuming that, they don't want to hold it for a very long time. They just want to get the profit and be done with it all, and they expect the price to first turn positive. I think it's a very cool thing, but it's very important to make the difference right there, because it's a completely different thing. They're not holding any Bitcoin. They're not going to be holding strong forever or anything like that. It's kind of wrong. It's kind of good. It's just how you see it. It's wrong, however, that he's really buying Bitcoin. He's buying some future contracts. Cardano says Hoskinson to acquire gaming platform to rejuvenate developing countries' economy. So yes, they're doing that. I don't really know if you want to get very far into it. CEO of IOHK and founder Cardano, Charles Hoskinson, is set to finalize the acquisition of the 1992 RPG game Legend of Valor with the aim of remastering and rewriting the game in the coming years. He's a crazy guy. Charles, gotta admit, a little bit of a crazy guy, but I love it. I love all the progress they've been making. Pretty damn insane if you think about it. Really crazy stuff. Dogecoin is all smiles as XRP Binance coin lose much needed market momentum. So I guess the coins are turning negative a little bit again. We're still very freaking close to $10,000, but let's actually see where Doge is at. I have not checked out Doge in like years. I don't even know what position it will be at right now. Is it in the top 50 still? Yeah, top 30. All right, it's minus 1% still. All right. Oh, BAT and ZRX. Wow, look at that, guys. That's insane. But the article reads, with the halving approaching and Bitcoin prepping to breach 10K, would you think the altcoin market would hitch a ride to the top as well? Owing to their, well, whatever, guys. It doesn't actually matter. I don't know anything about Dogecoin. I mean, they might be laughing. It's still a meme. Dogecoin doesn't matter for shit. BNB and XRP are doing pretty well, so I don't really know what this article is for or really what the title has to do for all of us. It's BS. Don't get caught up in that stuff. Binance doesn't have a headquarters because Bitcoin doesn't, says the CEO. Binance CZ really doesn't want to tell you where his firm's headquarters is located. To kick off Consensus's Ethereal Summit on Thursday, Unchained podcast host Laura Shin held a cozy fireside chat with Zhao, who, to mark the occasion, was wearing a personalized football shirt emblazoned with the Binance brand. Scheduled for 45 minutes, Zhao spent most of its time explaining how Libra and Chinese digital yuan were unlikely to be competitors to existing stablecoins, yada yada yada. But the most cool thing about this was that he said, well, we don't need a headquarter. And in his quote, well, I think what this is the beauty of the blockchain, right? So you don't have to, where's the Bitcoin office? Because Bitcoin doesn't have an office. And that's literally what he said. Wherever I sit is going to be the Binance office. Wherever I need somebody is going to be the Binance office, he said. It's basically just a way to get off without, paying the money for an office. Sneaky bastard. No, but yeah. I mean, he has a certain point, You don't necessarily need a headquarters, I guess. I mean, they're doing really good. They're a billion-dollar company without a head office. That's pretty cool if you think about it. That's pretty damn cool. I mean, you could have a lot of small offices, right? Or I don't. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter that much if you're really divided all over the world. I don't really know why you would need the headquarters anyway. You're a crypto company. You're not like a walk-in store, so you don't have anything that you can touch in real life anyway. It's all online. Everything you have is online. So, But then again, Amazon does have them. Yeah, it's interesting if you think about it. Really interesting. How much you might earn staking on Ethereum 2.0. So yes, it's coming along. It's coming up really, really quickly here, Ethereum 2.0. And a lot of people ask me how much money you will be able to make and how does it all work. Well, how it all works is really part of a completely different video that I might once make in the future. I don't think a lot of you guys want to know about it though, but hey. In brief, Colin Myers, a global product strategy at Consensus, explained what kind of return stakers can expect to make on Ethereum 2.0, and the Ethereum 2.0 network must reach a few important milestones before Ethereum holders could see profits from staking, and potential stakers need to take the cost of running a validator node into consideration. A little bit of stuff you should read into, I guess a little bit, but it starts here. Myers said that the Ethereum 2.0 network must reach quite a few important milestones before we'll get those wonderful profits. First and foremost, 2.0 first or Genesis block won't be discovered until the total amount of staked Ethereum reaches 524,000 Ethereum, which is around 16,000 validators. No one will receive any reward until that point is reached. He also noted that Phase 0 is a continuum and not a set time period, although the developers expect it to last somewhere between 12 and 18 months, or even 24 months, depending. And the next important step is 5 million Ethereum staked, by which time phase 1 will probably already begin. So at the start, you might earn yourself roughly 20.3%, and once it gets into phase 1, you'll most likely earn yourself about 6.6, and that's without cost built into your structure. There's a variety of different setups you can use, but at the start, it'll most likely look like about 5% that it will all cost you to run these validators or to maintain it as well. And at 5 million Ethereum staked, the cost will rise to about 14.7, Meyer said, which results in your net issuance essentially being between 17% and 3.7% from Genesis until 5 million Ethereum staked. Afterwards, we'll see. But I also have a calculator for you guys. You can just check this out, ethereumprice.org, and you can briefly check it out here, how much you will be earning. For example, if you do 10 Ethereum and you just do the simple settings, so you can just normal. If you calculate it, you'll see what you earn. 1 year, you're earning about 1.4 Ethereum, or like $300 or something like that. And in 10 years, this is what you'd earn. Again, I don't think this is what it's going to be looking like. I think the profits will be way, way, way less. However, the dollar amount will most likely be a lot higher. The amount of Ethereum, however, yeah, I think it will be a lot lower. And if you do 100 Ethereum, still the profit for the first year might be accurate, but afterwards, it's most likely going to be dropping quite significantly because you will not be getting that return every single year. However, looking at the ROI, it does look really juicy. 300% in 10 years is it's really still kind of crazy. And that would mean you'd go from $20,000 to $80,000 in 10 years, or if you were to go for, big boy time, $200,000 to, $800,000 in 10 years, you would become rich. I mean, you'd already have to have $200,000 though. But yeah, that's really crazy. All right, actually, I want to go into a couple of XRP things here, as you guys like that. My observation, Team Ripple is doing amazing work. Fact. Global FIs are partnering with Ripple. Fact. XRPL is being used and volume is growing. Fact. ODL is growing. Fact. XRP is being used. Fact. A lot of great news. Fact. Supply is what is keeping the price low for right now. Fact? Question mark? Well, again, there's a very big debate about what is keeping the XRP price low exactly. Does Jeb McCallum or Ripple's dumping have anything to do with it? Is it the regulatory clarity that's missing, kind of that's keeping the price low? Or what really is pushing it or keeping it down there? A lot of debates are going on. Nobody has the real official answer. I only know that it's most likely neither of those things. It's most likely not Jeb McCallum dumping. It's most likely not Ripple dumping, because most bigger investors, they know all about this. And I'm wondering, really, the guys who are selling, they mostly don't care about that stuff. So, I'm thinking really, really hard, but still, I don't know what's really keeping the price down. I really don't know. If you guys know, let me know in the comment section. I'm all up for it. And Miss Money Penny just said, transferred my pounds out of my Chinese bank account a few days ago. It normally takes 2 days on day 3, which today I'm looking at my UK bank account and wondering where is the pounds. Then I clicked, it's a bloody bank holiday, which means no pounds until Monday. Ripple, you are so important. And now, not necessarily that Ripple is important for this specific issue, as there's a lot of other companies who are already, I guess, able to process it a little bit quicker than these amounts of days. However, it does again point out to Ripple, I guess, going for a niche where it is just so necessary for improvements. So what she's saying right now is that her payment from a Chinese bank account to a UK one took about 5 days, and most likely also cost quite a lot of money, because it normally does. If you want to change over your currencies, it normally takes quite a lot of money. And I personally think that's the stupidest thing ever. I mean, you can really post anything you want online. You can send your I guess, same currency all over the world without any issues. However, if you want to change it up, you want to send it from bank to bank, it's really freaking expensive. I mean, that's stupid, right? And that's, again, where XRP comes into play and why it is such a good thing. Is XRP the only one? I don't think so. I mean, a lot of different companies, I believe, can optimize this. However, XRP is a very, very good, I guess, option. And it definitely would work splendidly there, which is, again, another reason why I'm so bullish on all of it. Telegram, a little bit more news on that. Telegram agrees to hand over communications to the SEC. A big part of this debacle was, again, about the unregistered security offering that's been going on, but they have made a huge step right now. To quote, that makes a May 7 consent agreement by Telegram to hand over its communications a huge step forward in the regulators' court case. And all this time, all the courts have decided in favor of the SEC. I mean, Telegram has not been having an easy time, but rightfully so. As I mean, this could be one of the biggest SEC, what is it called now? Security scams ever. It's billions of dollars we're talking, so it's no joke, and the SEC is really on Telegram's ass. Bitcoin is about to start a fresh macro bull cycle once it captures key level. Well, again, that's some that you could think. However, I'm not really all up for it, but I want to give you guys the quick rundown. Bitcoin has been able to maintain the bulk of the gains that came out during yesterday's intense upswing. Buyers are still struggling to firmly surmount the key $10,000 region. However, as it appears that bears have already established heavy resistance here, and the cryptocurrency could still be on the cusp of entering a macro bull cycle, and one analyst is noting that the key level that needs to be shattered exists just above Bitcoin's current price, and I personally would put that at $10,000. As I said before in my previous video, if we get above 10K, most likely some good times ahead. If we don't, most likely fall back to support or stay within this range. Depends a little bit on the rest. But for right now, it's looking like we're trying to breach 10K, but it's just not working. We've really been at this exact spot of around 99.50 for the whole day. At least all the time that I've been looking, like from here on out. Like maybe like 3 p.m. today. And yeah, I'm really wondering if we're going to get above 10K. I mean, it might look here like we got above it for a split second. However, that's not useful at all. I mean, if you, let's for example, you have $1 million and you just press, you press buy, or you have $10 million, it's just going to push through. However, it doesn't mean it will be sustained. It doesn't mean there's enough volume for it. It doesn't mean that there's enough contestants or the bulls are eager enough to cross it. It's not necessarily that just quite yet. Because people at 10K also have to be faithful enough to really start buying at that point, which people are not yet doing. They're all kind of waiting to buy a little bit below it because they're not too certain of it being able to cross 10K. But guys, that was it for this video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe, because again, guys, a lot of cool videos coming up. And again, I also have 2 other channels called Dusty Finance and 5 Minute Crypto. Links in the description below. They have no ads on there, and there's really cool vids. Thank you all for watching. Take care, everybody, and have a very, very nice day. Enjoy your weekend.